This is the only place where you have a candid feedback. What does the population think about the commission? And as you can see, my honorable colleagues have spoken candidly, more from their hearts. And this is what the people of Uganda are thinking. 2, this country deserves a justice system which is fair to everybody. Our last line of defense is the justice system. When it collapses, this country will collapse. And none of us, including your relatives, would wish this country to collapse. So what you get from us here, certainly I don't want anybody to take it personal, but these are real issues that are out there in people's mind, and take all the comments we are making in good faith. It's for the betterment of the commission, it's better for the administration of justice, it's better for the country. If your MPs cannot raise these matters, who else? Instead, you'll find people coming at you in a very vulgar way on social media and so on. In a place like this, we talk candidly, and I just want, as you answer the questions from my colleagues, to look at the principle or experience. And I don't want to look at this as you individuals, please. It has nothing to you, Dr. Singiza, it has nothing to you. You didn't appoint yourselves anyway. But we are thinking about the judiciary. Because here you are now, supposed to supervise, including actually disciplining and promoting justices of, actually from the Chief Justice to the Deputy Chief Justice, Justice of the Supreme Court, Justice of the Court of Appeal, senior High Court judges who are your colleagues but they are your seniors. So what message do we send to them as a country? Are you comfortable? Maybe it's unfair to ask you that question, but maybe let me put it different. There are many people who are uncomfortable with that sort of system, that you get somebody who is a little bit junior, all of a sudden is up, supervises, disciplines, promotes. So it is something which is lingering in the minds of many Ugandans and in good faith. Do you think you demoralize the people who have worked? Many of them have worked their way up there, up to the Supreme Court. And here they are, they get a junior officer, is now the boss, and asking very tough questions sometimes. I think we need to think of this as a country, and then the challenge you have, especially you two, this could be a little bit personal, is once you embark on your duties, you need to always have that in mind. There are people who may be looking at you as such, and yet you have now a statutory mandate. And yet somebody saying, this judge of 2 years in the High Court are the ones summoning to ask me this sort of thing? And some, and they are there, and between you, by the way, I went to that law school also, many, many years ago. And this is what we are talking about, talk amongst the professionals. And I'm sure it is also the real talk amongst your colleagues you've just left there. So as you embark on this journey, just know you are going to have these challenges. And I really have to caution that as you handle it, just know the sort of people you are going to be pretending over the system. For example, you are just to comfort you, you're a representative of the judiciary, no sir? Who is now representing the judiciary on the Honorable Justice? Okay, that is maybe better because she's in the court of what? She's in the Supreme Court. So that gives it a little bit of comfort that she's one of them and she's through experiences and so on. But anyway, you are the... That is about the Judicial Service Commission. And when colleagues are talking about corruption, they are really going beyond the corruption of money. Can we look at corruption in a wider perspective? It is not about money. If you influence me to take a judicial decision other than the facts and the law, it doesn't matter whether it is motivated because of money or because of other consideration, you are corrupt. I don't know whether I'm getting myself clear. So it is not really about bribes. Yes, bribe is part of it, but it is bigger. If you are going to say, yes, Just Comfort is from Busoga, therefore you must, or she's a Muslim, she must take a decision because she's from Musoga and she's a Muslim, that is corruption. It can even go beyond it. That, you know, I am a judge, but somehow my background is UPC. By the way, mine is. But I take a decision because I'm UPC. Oh, I have. That is corruption. And that is a big, big challenge in the judiciary today, and a big public perception that some judges take decisions not based on the fact and the law, but because of other consideration other than what has been presented before them. In fact, this I have to tell you, I'm sure you know, they said they are judges. Once the case has been allocated to Judge X, they know the decision. Can you imagine? Once a particular case has been allocated to Judge Nwagawa, they say no, even the lawyers are now too late. It is before him, this is what is, and it actually turns out to be what they are saying. So these are the sort of things which I think some of you, the challenges you have to handle to get the public confidence back. You see, the lawyers say to the non-lawyers on the commission, a law is supposed to be blind. You understand? Whoever crosses its way, it doesn't matter who. It treats you equally and it knocks you equally. But a law and a just system that is looking for victims, that is not just system. Oh, this one, or even discussing cases outside your court system is not correct. So these are the challenges which are there, and I'm sure you're going to face the same challenges. With complaints like that, you make sure that you have to restore the confidence, because I don't know, you've been there. Do you think that the public is so happy with the quality of justice? Are you satisfied yourself? As a commission, ask that question. Are the people of Uganda happy with the just system today? Take, for example, the time it takes to litigate a case. 20 years and there is no judgment. 20 years. And there is no judgment. And somebody came to court, a court system, and he has been there for 20 years. And people are there every day. They are paid every day to do their job. 20 years, Just Comfort. It's not fair. It is not justice. And we give all sorts of excuses. Judgment or notice, we were talking about the other day with the judicial. Judgment or notice. By the way, lawyers are planning something to do, let me warn you. They are coming to say, when you are giving them, timelines to file submission, say, no, we shall file on the notice. And we see how a judge will react. If the two lawyers stand up and say, yes, we have agreed, we will file this on the notice, how will a judge respond to that? That the lawyers have gone to him and they say, my lord, we shall file and notify you. A serious judge, what will a serious judge do? But judges are saying it. We shall give you a judgment or not. Now the lawyers want to return the favor. You give a timeline, then they say, no, we shall file our submission on notice. It's because they don't have powers to make a ruling, but you have powers. Otherwise, they will make a very harsh ruling when you say judgment on notice. Litigants have got a right to know when their decision, when you make a decision. And if you are not ready, you say, they come and say, sorry, I am not yet ready. Give me another 4 weeks, need another 5 weeks. Even if it is ready, let them come. Then you give them a particular date when they should come. Why do you judges say you will give judgments on notice? You tell me one reason, not two, one single reason. Judgment on notice. It doesn't make legal sense. It doesn't make common sense. It doesn't. So I think as you administer, I don't think it's pretend over this judicial. These are the concerns you need to engage judges. Let the litigants come to you knowing they are going to have a fair decision. Let the litigants come to you when they are certain. The court will give me a judgment on the 30th October. Even if you take 4 years, let them know you will take 4 years. But they go thinking the judgment is next week, 2 months, 3 months, a half a year, sometimes a whole year. And you know what happens? They start asking, by the way, what does the judge want? Is this why he's delaying? Is there anything we can do? Then your clerk's also saying, by the way, if you do something, it will come. So because of that, you promote unethical things. And this you have to engage the judges. Having talked like a priest because they are supposed to talk candidly. Lastly, what is this that we are paying for? This bill. If somebody say, can you justify this bill? Is the judicial service delivering on its mandate to justify this bill? That's the question these members are going to ask themselves. You want, here there's a funding gap, here there's what. The first thing which is going to come in their mind, are you delivering on your mandate? You are not what, it's not what you tell us you are, or what you are going, it is exactly what you are going to do, or what you actually do, which matters to us. Not, you can say for us, we will do this, we can do this, but what are you actually going to do? Then we judge you, because we are the only one who can judge you. Nobody else. This is time also for accountability, actually. So, okay, we gave them this amount of money. What have they done with it? You understand? And what have they done with it is not about buying vehicles. Honorable Zijan says retooling. It's not about retooling. It is about justice. That is what we want. Not how many computers you have, but the real mandate, justice. Is there a return on investment? Our return on investment is not you getting new cars or desks. No, our return on investment is justice. Dr. Singiza, once again, congratulations. And once again, both of you, and why I'm talking to both of you at the head, I would have been saying, oh, the commission. Who has been on this commission before? So I'm sure he should give you some of this should be going to him, because he's the one who has been there, and these are new. All these complaints they are talking about and so on, Dr. Odur was saying, actually, Haji Wagwa, you could be the target. But now these ones are coming, we don't want them to commit the same mistakes, so that tomorrow they are accused of the same case. And please take this in good faith. We want a better service commission. Over to you. Can we say we give them 10 minutes? 9. Huh? Okay, we think the questions we have raised are so important. We'll give you a little bit more time. And we want you to assure the public that their concern is either misplaced or If there is some truth in it, you are going to do better. And next time you come, we don't want to have the same conversation. Actually, we want to be pleasantly surprised that you've done wonderful. We want to be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, in 5 minutes, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Members, I intend to respond with the personal concerns of Wagaba. When he was completing his bar course, I was joining as a magistrate grade 3 trainee. He used to give me newspapers and buy me a soda. So he has forgotten all that, I know. And the last time I checked, he's actually a neighbor, so we should be friends. So when
I thought you were.
So
are you denying?
So, and he's speaking as a person from Kigezi because they don't hide really, and I love it. I just want to give you two assurances. One is on this notion of cadre judges. The word cadre is vulgarized time and again. The first time, Honorable Chair, I interacted with that word was when Victor Bwana, as the RDC of Mbarara then, was the resident district commissioner. He used to talk about a cadre. In South Africa, where I spent much of my time, the word cadre judge is actually positive. It means you are a transformational judge. Here, in the Ugandan context, it means you are a pro-government judge. Now, let me quickly allay the fears of the members here. 2018, I was a magistrate grade 1. I had graduated with my PhD 2013. Where was the cadreship that couldn't promote me then? Am I appealing to you to calm down a bit, to know that it is actually not my cadreship, but probably other skills I have acquired over time that I'm now a chairperson of Judicial Service Commission. 2, I am a chairperson of the Judicial Service Commission. I feel under the ticket of the anti-corruption movement. My humble view, you can have all these judgments. You can have all these many judgments churned out. Once they lack on quality, which I favor most, once they lack on corruption-free, there are no judgments at all. Now, to address your quick question on why are you paying us? You are paying us because over time, since 1995 Constitution was promulgated, we have never had an outright civil strife, for example. Part of the reason why you should continue, and I request that you continue, paying the judiciary is that it continues to hold the skies. Even with all these challenges, the judiciary is a vital structure of the state without which this country will face problems. Let me answer specifically one more question of your concern, and probably Honorable Odur, and I hand over to the chairperson and then the deputy acting judge as a problem. Now, like I said, I was a student for a long time in South Africa, and this is how the notion of acting judges operates. Here, it has been misunderstood, and I really want to make a passionate case. I know there is a Supreme Court appeal. I'm trying to be careful not to violate the rule of subject, but this is how it works. In South Africa, you can be a chief magistrate. The Judicial Service Commission will say, we have a vacancy in the Supreme Court. We want you to come to the Supreme Court and handle 20 decisions. You are an acting judge of the Supreme Court of South Africa or Constitutional Court of South Africa. This is the test they will give you. Of the 10 cases you are going to deliver over 2 years or 3 years period, because they don't have a lot of cases like here, you must indicate how many were reportable, which is a test for quality. How many were reportable? They may not necessarily be reported. Then how many were actually reported? Now, if out of 10 you indicate 7 were reportable, meaning they were of groundbreaking, quality, they are really new, and only 2 are actually reported, When you are applying to join the High Court or Supreme Court later, they will test you to that question. You were given an opportunity to serve in the Constitutional Court. You were given 10 cases. Out of 10, none of the cases were reported. They score you 0. So it's a performance indicator. The same thing with High Court. If you're a High Court judge and you go to Constitutional Court, not formally as an acting judge, they will test you up against that performance. Now here, we seem to think that because the Constitution demands that we must be independent, nobody should actually be appointed in that acting capacity. I am a firm believer. I can assure you, Honorable Chairperson, I was on my tenterhooks for the last 2 years because I knew I could have lost my job, my pension and everything. But it instilled in me the discipline required of a judicial officer. The kind of work I produced in the 2 years, in terms of quality especially, maybe because of my background as an academician, probably wouldn't have been as thorough as if I had been appointed straight into full office. So while there is a problem, while I can feel your concerns, I think there are very good reasons why people should continue to be appointed in acting capacity. I could be wrong, but maybe Honorable Committee Chairperson, you could ask some people.
I don't want the committee to go so much. There's a live case.
Yes.
And the principles of sub judice don't allow us to do that.
Yes.
Because you see, if I have the chairperson of the Judicial Service Commission discussing substantive demerits or demerits of a particular matter, which is live, allow that. And please, can you abandon that subject?
I have withdrawn that discussion.
But Chair, on that particular one, I think was slightly different. We're asking in terms of the mandate. The Judicial Service Commission is mandated to recommend. There is no acting. So the question was, did you, as Judicial Service Commission, recommend to the President a list of acting rather than judges? This is the concern.
Yeah, that's the concern. That doesn't go the person who's trying to do. Because I want us to give opportunity to this, the matter pending before court to be discussed. Because you see, if a judge says, by the way, the mind of the chairperson of the Judicial Commission is this, please. And that is the reason why we have sub judice. But his question is different.
Yes.
His question is different.
Yes, and that's the reason why we said without prejudice, because I was aware of more of...
I don't want to go to the path he was taking, but I hope you've gone back to... You have understood his question. Yeah, just answer his question, not the merits of that.
Yesterday, I took the oath of secrecy. I have read a lot of information, especially for the last 1 month, about the Judicial Service Commission. I think if I were to disclose whether the 6th Commission recommended people as acting judges to the President, probably without the protection, I might cross the line of secrecy. So probably I request that we leave it at that, and I answer the next question.
But Chair, you see, I made reference also to, is it?
It's there.
Yeah, it's them to say, no, we did not, or we did. That's what all.
They should do. I think we need to go a bit further and say, there's this particular communication. You need to originate from you, and then you can raise question on it.
Especially if...
The point I would like to make is let us not go into the substance.
Interest of acting, let there be the contextual dynamic. We're talking about Uganda and not South Africa, and the way in which it is practiced in Uganda doesn't quite fit into the way it's practiced in South Africa. In South Africa, the dynamics and the context leading into acting judges is not what Uganda is picking a leaf of. Uganda's situation is totally different, and I think that the example doesn't apply with respect, definitely. And so as we address and consider this matter going forward, it's my prayer that you're not biased by the South African example, because South Africa might be a little bit ahead in its jurisprudence. Thank you.
They would borrow a judge from the Court of Appeal for purposes of constituting a firm and disposing of a particular case. He only comes for that and goes away. But I think the point Honorable Odur is raising is this recruitment but acting. And I think that's the one in court. Recruiting, but what? Acting. Not acting to do a particular assignment, task, and then you go back, because you are substantively a lower judge, a lower court judge, but you go to the upper court because they are lacking a quorum, and they look around and say, oh, who is the senior judge there? Come and we constitute a quorum and dispose of this. Yes. Yeah, you know.
Last cohort of people to be appointed acting judges before us was the cohort of the former principal judge Yorokam Bamwine and Justice Wangutusi, both retired. I was a personal assistant of Honorable Justice Yorokam Bamwine, so I'm privy to that information. But I take the guidance. I just wanted to quickly respond to Honorable to whether we are fully constituted. We take the guidance. If we are wrong, because we are aware to be, legally fully constituted, we need members from Uganda Law Society. To my knowledge, they haven't been elected, and therefore they have not been formally appointed by the president. So I don't want to run a risk to answer that question, because it can derail us from our activity. Could I quickly answer again your question, whether this budget is good for money? Just in one line, because I have been in office for one day, some of the priorities that were set were clearly made without a lot of our input. So as you sacrifice us sparingly. But we think next year we shall do better.
Yes. I am.
Because we need to, since you have gone for marriage, that the parents surrender to go and serve the husband. Now you are in marriage. Whichever circumstance you face, you must be informed.
Face the fire.
So because now you have the senior there, it is now incumbent upon, even you would have consulted before, because we are not going to leave pending answers here. As you are waiting or pending, we shall do the same mistake, because you are the parents. For us now, we are here for 5 years. Our term will also end, but we find everything unanswered and we move. So
well,
that one.
I think Honorable Setoriko, he's made a plea that that's how I saw. I looked at his response. He said, well, I was sworn in yesterday, they were sworn in yesterday, and this budget process has been on, maybe himself and so on. So to us, we should be able to understand that they are just newcomers in the office. So let's give them an opportunity. They make their contribution, but they should take our concern. Actually, the others maybe didn't have the opportunity. Now you have an opportunity to take our concern in mind as you process your budget. What are the expectations of your supervising committee? Actually, this is the only supervising committee you have. The other one you are going to appear before would be actually PAC to explain how you use the money. But as far as your substantive mandate, this committee is the one which you are going to be interacting with. So we take it as such.
Because of your kind words, Honorable Chair, I have in the interim appointed or designated the Deputy Chair to be in charge of investigations and complaints handling. I hope this will address your question why complaints are being processed at a slow pace and the nature of sanctions that are coming out. Could I request you for her to respond in 2 minutes probably what she intends to do?
Other than the introduction of that from
Thank you, Chair. On top of the rest of complaints handling, I thought that I should address you, Chair, on the issue of the perception of both the chairman and myself being junior, and the feelings of disgruntlement that may be in the hearts of the senior people we are supposed to superintend over. We are not blind to those sentiments. Those sentiments through the rumor mill have also reached us, and we take them in good faith. Probably if I had found myself in a similar situation, I may have felt the same as a human being. Having said that, as Honorable Odur stated, we did not appoint ourselves. We have the Constitution to guide us, and I think if we do our work honestly, transparently, without fear of favor or favoritism, those feelings will evaporate. So that also answers the question about how I'm intending to conduct the business of the disciplinary committee. It will be fairly, transparently, without fear or favor, ill will or affection.
It's sweet music to us. It's really very sweet music to us. We'll clap for you. The only thing you can do is this, like.
Thank you, Chair and members.
That is what the Ugandans expect, and that's what will make you one of the most successful commissions. If you actually do what you've told us, everybody would be proud of you. A person not, are you somehow a daughter of the late Mrs. Kanya?
Yeah, the late...
Honorable Chair, I don't intend to answer any question directly because it was known to me, but I just want to allow our accounting officer, Permanent Secretary, to hand over a copy of the end of term report for the 5th and 6th Commission, so that most of what has been done or most of what is being asked now is contained in this document. Reading through it slowly will indicate or will shed some light on some of the issues the members are concerned with.
Thank you.
Honorable Chair, now the Permanent Secretary could come in and then wrap it up.
Proceed. That one can continue if you want.